So in the last couple sessions, there was a lot of talk about security, surveillance society, and all of this. What I'm going to walk you through is what we have heard in the market as technology service providers, how we have chosen to respond to create more opportunity for our business, and then what we are doing, have done with Ox to bring that opportunity, that same opportunity to you, to make it easy for you to replicate what we've done to see opportunity. So first, I'm speaking tomorrow in a workshop with the Ox folks, and so I'm going to get into more detail about the specifics of what we've done tomorrow. Right now, I'm going to keep it very high level. Just some quick background on our post. We started the company in 2000. I'm one of the co-founders, MBA from the Wharton School, worked in Wall Street. And my co-founder is a technologist, PhD from Cambridge University. And we built this technology called registered email, which in short allows the sender to track, prove, electronically sign, or encrypt high-value messages. And we brand everything around this red R, and we have patents, and we continuously innovate with R&D, and so we're heavily focused on making sure that our technology that we offer in the market has the best user experience and stays fresh in terms of innovation. And we have customers using the services all over the world daily. Let me first talk about catalysts in the marketplace. I think one of the things that's important from a business perspective is to try to identify catalysts or trends that are significant enough to change behavior. And what we saw in 2000, for example, email had been around for, since the mid-'80s. And in 2000, email became a consumer product with Hotmail, AOL, and Yahoo. And that was enough to change behavior. And almost overnight, it shifted a huge amount of casual correspondence from paper to electronic. In 2009, with the Great Recession, at that point, people said, you know what, I don't want to spend $50 for a FedEx. Can I do this electronically? Can I start moving my higher value correspondence to electronic? And that was a catalyst in the market that created enough pain that it got people to change behavior. I would argue that the most interesting catalyst in the market today is the whistleblower effect. In mid-2013, there was this news that came out. Now, it wasn't just news that came out once and then went away. I mean, the Guardian did a masterful global PR campaign in the way they dripped the news out, ongoing. It could have just been flash, would have been news in June 2013, and everyone forgot about it by summer. But they dripped this out. So think about this. This is a multi-billion, I'm just talking about from a business perspective, opportunity for you. This is a multi-billion-dollar PR campaign financed by the NSA for your behalf, if you know how to capitalize on it, if you think of this from a business catalyst perspective. And the effectiveness of this campaign was so significant that Main Street's starting to pay attention. And the evidence of that is, for example, I was driving down in middle America, on a state highway in the middle of nowhere. And people put these signs up on their farmland, God bless America, and happy 4th of July, and whatever, with some sayings just to entertain the drivers as they drive by. And this one farmhouse had this sign on the side of the road. It said, "Did you lose your computer?" It's modeled like a street sign. And then about half a mile down the road, they had a follow-up sign, and it said, "Don't worry, the NSA is a backup." Right? And so the fact that this is on the side of a road in the middle of nowhere means that this PR campaign by the Guardian has made at least those more politically aware, maybe more libertarian-minded, maybe those with a little bit higher net worth, those that perhaps read the newspaper and be on the sports section. So it's not everyone, but it's a significant number of people that makes it interesting from a business perspective. Now, how do we define? We look at the market and we study this carefully because we've been a secure messaging provider since 2000. And so we look at it as there are really three categories within this area of secure messaging. There's private, there's secure, and there's secret. So I would argue that private means it's not encrypted or anything. It's just more private than a Facebook post to the world or a Twitter feed. WhatsApp is an example. Facebook said, wow, people are now interested in not posting everything to the world. They want to do more one-on-one messaging. They want something that's perceived in their mind to be private. WhatsApp, let's pay a huge amount of money to make sure that that doesn't migrate off of Facebook. Okay, so private. Secure is there's some form of encryption that actually makes it secure. Now, we're not saying all the algorithms used on the internet are NSA approved, developed for non-classified commercial use. So who knows if the governments actually have the key to access the encryption. But bottom line is it's secure, it's encrypted, it's secure enough to prevent hackers, identity thieves, and people maliciously getting your information. Secret would be something that perhaps is beyond the scope of the government being able to use. So here is simple and easy. Here, it has to be so simple that individuals use it, but yet robust enough for businesses to have comfort in it. And here, you're always going to have more complexity. So we don't focus on that right now. So this is it. If you think of what you need to have, simple enough. And this is where the next wealth creation will be for service providers that keep this in mind. Simple enough for individuals to use with no level of sophistication, but yet secure enough, direct delivery to the inbox, no hoops and hurdles to jump through, but yet secure enough for businesses to have comfort in. And an open system so it maintains the ubiquity of email. You can send to anyone. They don't need to be part of the platform. And these are important. Now, the significance of these trends, and if you keep this in mind, our philosophy on what secure messaging should be, think of what's happened. In the past, for the past 10 years, we've been selling secure messaging services to business. Our Post, to businesses, small businesses, mid-sized, large enterprise, all over the world. Now, this has become a consumer product. And as a consumer product, this opens up huge opportunity because the addressable market has just become much, much larger if you follow those things. Simple enough for individuals, robust enough for businesses, open. So what was our response after analyzing this over the last many months? We said, look, we've been focusing on registered email, track, prove, sign, encrypt, all of our capabilities plugged into Microsoft Outlook. But we're starting to get questions, and people are saying, is there a secure alternative to Gmail? Can you build your stuff into a web platform? And can that be hosted outside the United States? And can it not read and analyze the message content and a few other things? And so we looked around and we did an RFI, and we looked at all the service providers in the marketplace, and because we decided we wanted to launch a market-leading platform, elegant design. It has to be better than functionally and from a usability perspective than Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo. And it has to include all of the RPost track, proof, sign, encrypt capabilities inside. So we looked at the marketplace and we decided to pick a partner because we don't want to be in the email box business or hosting business ourselves. We never store information. We process transactions and return the information back to the sender and recipient. So we partnered with Open-Xchange to launch what we call rmail.com, at rmail.com. And we're launching this with some marketing partners that have specific access to this more politically aware, more libertarian-minded, more higher net worth, individual that they're already marketing to that are saying, hey, can you help us find a secure alternative to Gmail? And by the way, Yahoo is terrible for spam. Can we switch from Yahoo and Hotmail? So at rmail.com is something that we're launching. And what we did was we looked at the OpenWave stack of capabilities. It's a little small there, but it's calendar, tasks, drive, contacts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, open docs, and so on. So we needed to say it's got to be feature rich. And then we're adding this yellow box, the RMail functionality. RMail short for registered email. The email tracking of delivery, opening, content proof, timestamping, encryption, and sending documents for e-signature, and so on. So we decided to say, Open-Xchange, can you add this capability? Can you build into the user interface next to the send button, a send registered button? And they said, sure, we can do that. It'll cost you. We can do that. Send registered. So when the send registered button's clicked, there's a pop-up. So it's not for everything. Think of the way we look at the market. We segment the individual's messages between casual and consequential. Casual, a lot of that, by the way, is migrating off of email to text and other things. Casual and consequential. Casual, click the send button. Consequential, click the send registered button. And then you have options to track, prove, sign, encrypt. Keep it simple. And we said, look, can you build this in? Now, we have a cloud infrastructure, so all this is really doing is routing certain consequential messages through a secure connection off of the Open-Xchange platform to our infrastructure. Then we do all the heavy lifting. So it didn't cost much and could be done quick. So that was our response. Now, at the end of it, I sat down. I happened to be taking a train through Germany for some reason, and I caught up with Raphael and met him in person. We chatted and we talked about what we were doing, and he said, why don't we take this module and make it part of App Suite so that all of our providers can have leading edge, market leading security that's unique, that's a differentiator. And importantly, the way we see the market allows you to maintain competitiveness against what we foresee to be an explosion of functionality that will and is coming out in Gmail due to the way they've tied Chrome add-ins and so on to it. So the breadth of services is important. So what we've done is now this is offered to you as part of App Suite. We are doing it ourselves, so you get the benefit of all the design work and marketing work and positioning that we've done, and it maintains all the key things that we believe are important to have a successful security extension as part of your platform. And so the way our model works is make it available to all users at no per user cost for the hosting company. So you turn it on for all users in a limited volume, right? They're sending 100 casual messages, but maybe 10, 20, 30 consequential messages a month, or whatever the numbers are. So we provide a threshold, free for everyone for the limited volume. If they exceed the limited volume, as Parallel said, people are price insensitive. And so people are paying for volumes of 25 to a couple hundred a month. They're paying between $5 and $15 a month retail. So price insensitive, higher margin if they get above that threshold. If they want to use it, 5 times a month, let them use it. More value for them, more features, more benefits. So that's the focus. And now what we'll talk about tomorrow in the workshop is what this yellow box is within the OpenWave stack and how you can consider adding what we call RMail as one of your offerings as part of your platform, and then profit from these trends in the marketplace. And so going back to the beginning, I look at these the information that you've heard, and I think from a business perspective, what do we do different? This is a big enough event that if we do something different, we can benefit from it. We can let our end users benefit. How do we make money? How do we make money for our partners? And this was our approach. I hope you agree with the approach, and perhaps you'll come and join the workshop and decide how to take part in it. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, by the way, I'll talk about some of these trends here as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Zafar. Any questions for Zafar and our Ports team? There's Jake as well.
I'm just curious, like when you send a registered message, is there any special thing that the other side has to do?
It's a good question. So the question was, when you're sending a registered email message, does the other side need anything and what happens? Now, you can certainly come by our booth and we can show you, but the short answer is no. It's direct delivery to the recipient's inbox of the message body and all attachments, no links to click, nothing else to do. And then within 2 hours, the sender gets back what we call a registered receipt, which gives them their tracking of delivery, open, failure, plus a way to authenticate the original content at any time in the future without our post storing any information.
Okay.
So certainly we can show you some pictures at our stand if you're interested.
Got a question for you. You mentioned you guys have a global footprint. You see a lot of different companies and cross sections of SMBs coming across your platform and your services. Have you had any research on differences between the threshold for simple for individuals and robust for business in the EU or European versus the American market?
So from a business perspective, a small business perspective, by far the best industries to focus on right now in terms of marketing this are industries that are regulated with data privacy regulation, meaning here's how it happens. We have thousands of insurance brokers, for example. Here's how it happens. I'm the broker. I'm sending my client's personal information to the insurance carrier by unencrypted email. I don't really care. I just want to get it done and do what I need to do and leave at the end of the day. But what happens is when the individual receives an email from their accountant or from their insurance broker, and that email contains their personal financial information, their tax returns, and that individual now all of a sudden is aware of the fact that email is not private. Now all of a sudden they're saying, guys, can't you do something? Why shouldn't you be sending this to me encrypted? And sometimes they'll tell the broker, and the broker will say, yeah, we probably should, and we better look for something. Sometimes they don't. But then when the person says, there are some fines and stuff associated with your disclosure of my personal information, you should probably do this, then they move fast. And then when I was speaking at a conference with 1,000 insurance brokers, and then I said, look, but the bottom line is the fact of that insurance broker's data breach, is already out there. Every inbox that they've sent financial or private or health information to contains the evidence of data breach. And the way Obama has structured the regulations is he's awarding whistleblowers. So any enterprising person could say, you know what, here's the evidence, regulator, of the fact that my insurance broker had a data breach. You fine them $500,000, I get 20% of it, $100,000. Oh, not bad for a day's work, and the evidence is in my inbox. So once you explain that to the client, to the SMB client, instantly they realize, the message is, how do we get all that stuff back? And the answer is, it's already out there. You just got to hope that they don't realize, and the way to do that is start encrypting now so they don't think about it, so the client doesn't think about it. But that's sort of a long answer, but yeah. Basically the regulated industries like insurance or industries where people are in the middle of transactions with third parties, lawyers, realtors, healthcare workers, medical offices, physicians. This is the SMB market that is limitless in terms of size of companies that are willing to pay $10 to $15 per user per month ongoing.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions for Zafar on the topic? As he mentioned, tomorrow in the brew hall, there from 2 to 4:30, we have a pretty power-packed session. We will start off by talking and introducing our own straightforward and easy-to-use security product, OX Guard. We have the experts there that are going to define what that value proposition is. We just launched that early in September. And then we'll have an integrated session with the RPost team talking about the different layers, from simplicity, taking the complexity out of encryption, and how it goes into robustness. And so bring tough questions there from a technology level. Zafar?
Let me add one more thing. An unexpected use case. So I talked about the business from an individual. I mean, the U.S. now, it's like 30% of the population is divorced with children or something. I don't know what the numbers are. But it turns out a high use for the registered email product among individuals is the messages going between ex-husbands and wives around who gets the kids this weekend. We get these stories because they're passionate senders that submit these testimonials. So there's opportunity in the breadth of the product among individuals and among businesses. Thank you.
Thanks, Zafar. Let's give it up for Zafar.